Hi guys, this is Streamer Carlos. On today's video, I'm going to give you my review of the season 1 finale of Daredevil. See, episode 9. Episode 9. A big apple turn off and the Red Hope. Here we go, guys. I love the season finale, and here's why. I loved it because it was great. First of all, Kingpin showed his true face. So, here's how it happened. So here's what happened. As, like I told you in episode 8, Maddie had been shot by Bullseye, aka also known as Benny. But instead of dying, which is good for us, he survived. But obviously Heather and Kristen are freaked out. Heather and Kristen are freaked out, and they asked Maddie when he was at the hospital, and again, and coming back from to conscience, you got shot. And then of course Maddie being so stubborn, he's like, I need to be out there. I need to find out why they shot me. Who was the why did Bullseye, aka Benny, shot me? Who was he shooting at? And just like I told you in my review of episode 8, the target, or Maddie discovered that the one that made the hit, that called the shots to execute and sadly murder Foggy was not Fisk himself, but Mrs. Fisk, Vanessa Fisk. And guys, this is where this is where the season finale turns it up a notch, For the past few episodes, including episode 8, we haven't seen the true colors of Kingpin, of Mayor Fisk. Well, it came out. The true colors of Fisk came out, meaning that he was back to being Kingpin. He ordered the electricity of New York and its surrounding areas to be shut down, to be cut off, and this created chaos and political chaos inside the penthouse, meaning the mayor's mansion in this case. People and BB and the BB report by BB yourself, not in footage, not in a BB report scene, but Sheila was like, why are we turning off the city's lights? So here's the point. Here's the purpose. So Fisk, or Kingpin's forces, or special enforcement, special police force can do anything that they want. Hunt vigilantes, hurt them to a point of, finishing the job correctly according to their standards, and obviously throw the whole city of New York in chaos. So going back to Heather and Kristen. Kristen is worried about Maddie's state of mind. Why is he so cool about being shot? And like concerned but not really concerned. And Kristen and Heather are like, why are you not freaking out? And instead of freaking out, you want to go out there? You want to go out there? And obviously Heather's like, why? And Maddie's like, you know why? I told you. Fisk is not the Fisk that he wants you to see. The Fisk I know, and the true Fisk that I know is ruthless, doesn't care about anyone but his baldy self. And I need to stop him. So Heather decides to leave Maddie, not to break up with Maddie, but just to let him rest. Calm down a little. Calm his F1 mind off a little bit, because his mind according to Heather, is just thinking very fast, and thinking about going outside the hospital and finding out who shot him. Obviously, we know who shot him, but why? Who was the target? You know what I mean. But Heather's like, I'll come back later. Then Maddie asked Kristen, what was Foggy before he died investigating, and what were you celebrating with him at the bar the last time that he was alive? And according to Kristen, it was because he had discovered, and his client Benny, not Deadshot, but another Benny, Benny, though I'm guessing the same Benny that shot him, Foggy had discovered something about his case regarding some money, or some money, amount of money that obviously Foggy thought it was just a simple fraud, money laundering case. But it actually wasn't. What Foggy had accidentally stumbled upon without knowing is that he had uncovered, without knowing this at the time, the true meaning, the meaning of why Fisk and Vanessa, his wife, were actually back in New York. Well, apparently, and you can, guys, please correct me if I'm wrong, or you could check me on this. Apparently, what Maddie discovers with Paige, I'll get to her in a little bit. Yes, Paige is back, but I'll get to Paige in a little bit. What Maddie and Paige discovered is that, again, without knowing, Foggy had stumbled upon very spicy stuff. Foggy thought he was stumbling up, thought it was just a simple money laundering case. Well, apparently, he accidentally stumbled upon something bigger, a bigger lawfish. And apparently, what he has stumbled upon is, meaning Foggy, is that Vanessa and Fisk could do money laundering and other money related stuff that was legal, and he was trying to uncover why, and that's why Benny, and that's why Vanessa, in a flashback part of this finale, we see Benny Bullseye sitting in the cafeteria table of his prison, talking to Vanessa Fisk one year earlier. So I wanna say regarding the show timeline, I wanna say November of 2024 regarding the show time, regarding the month timeline of the show, and ear flashback of where I'm guessing where Netflix left off with Daredevil, the original name of the series before it came truly home to Disney Plus, and before we got the new name of Daredevil Born Again. But anyway, Vanessa, Miss Fisk told Benny that I know what you're going through, but I have to close some lines. I need to close some. I need to cut some cable. I need to cut some cables. But there's one cable that is really, really bothering me. And I need you, Benjamin, to help me cut the cable. To cut this cable that is really bothering me. And if and when my husband comes back, I need for that cable to be cut before he comes back. And if you help me, I will help you. So, eventually, Benjamin signed the contract. Signed the contract, and that's how we get the first episode. Like Bullseye shooting Foggy outside the bar at the end of episode 1. Now, again, just like in episode 1, at Bullseye's trial, or Ben's trial, Paige had come back just to be there at the trial. And then Maddie and Paige talked. And again, just like I said in my first review, in my episode one review, both in English and in Spanish, that Maddie wanted to talk about how things were left between Paige and him, but mostly between all three of them. But here's the kicker. Like I said as well, Paige Paige had moved to San Francisco because all the pain that she had inside because of losing one of her best friends who was Foggy, and 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 the things and how things ended with Maddie overall regarding their relationship. But I know, but Carlos, you guys might say, but Carlos, if Paige and Maddie's relationship was that bad, didn't they break up? Yes, I'm guessing that they did. But that's in the old show timeline, in the Netflix Daredevil timeline. But I'm guessing that after breaking up, they remain friends, and that's what we see in the first episode. They remain close friends with a little bit of lovely romantic tension, but mostly friends. But after losing Foggy, Paige moved to San Francisco to breathe new air, and to take her mind and heart to mind, and her mind itself off of thinking of Maddie. So when Maddie got out, or when Maddie astutely got out by himself out of bed, out of bed to a waiting room at the hospital that he was staying at. He kind of reconnected with an old friend, and I think we know who that is, the Punisher. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Meanwhile, before Maddie did what he did, like get out of bed, get out of his own bed, out of his hospital bed, on his own, Fisk was going crazy. Kingpin was going absolutely insane. Just absolutely insane. And he directed Buck, one of his closest advisors in his cabinet, and Fisk criminal family member to again cut to, I want you to cut some cable. You know that cable, because Fisk's main concern was that he didn't want a vigilante that he knows that Maddie is as Daredevil to save, for the press to for the local press to acknowledge that a lawyer slash vigilante saved the man that is trying trying to get rid of vigilantes off of the streets. But again, obviously the reporters don't know that Maddie Maddie and Daredevil are the same are the one and the same. All they know is that the press thinks that Maddie and Daredevil are two separate people, not the same person. But Fish doesn't want the press to think that a lawyer that might be involved and might be a vigilante himself, even though they don't have any proof. It's very complicated. But anyway, Fish tells Buck to to do your stuff. So that's why the electricity was turned off. Besides Fisk's police force, special task force could do whatever they want. But the main reason, or actually both main reasons, but the main reason, and plus for Fisk to do whatever they want when the lights were off, Fisk turned off the lights off of New York, off of us, meaning the New Yorkers, if we were there in New York, so Buck, his trusted right hand man in his cabinet slash key member and important member of his criminal Fisk family, to get rid of Matt Murdock. But astutely and smartly, Maddie, since he has incredible sense of hearing and tone hearing and surrounding hearing, he heard the steps, and he heard Buck's steps, and he went and he got out of his hospital bed by himself, and he went to a waiting room where he was like, "What up, dude?" or "What are you doing here, dude?" Meaning to Frank. Yes, Punisher. And Frankie's objective was to get Maddie out of the hospital. Yes, out of the hospital. Then Maddie said, "Who sent you here to rescue me?" Then Punisher or Frank said, "It's someone that you know. It's someone that you know." But he didn't say in those words, "I'm just here to get you out." And then after getting out and getting rid of and getting into a tag team fight with Punisher, with Frank, and beating up members of Fisk Task Force, and beating the assassin that killed White Tiger Hector Ayala, and beating him, not killing him, beating him. Paige apparently had called Punisher or Frank to get Manny out of the hospital, because she read something very quickly very quickly got on a plane to New York about Fisk going crazy, turning back into Kingpin, turning back into his Kingpin self, and 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 just going crazy. Meanwhile, for Commissioner Gallo, he had a secret talk. He was having a secret chat with Sheila. Sheila, and he said, and Commissioner Gallo said to Sheila, Sheila, our mayor is going crazy. This is too quick. This is insane. First he cuts off the electricity. Second, he sends his special task force into a lighted out city to do whatever they want to innocent people. The people that are fighting against this, are totally against this. They're riding the streets, and what is Fisk doing? Nothing. So, if you're with me, we can stop this. And Sheila says, I'm with you. I support you. I support, or you have my support in whatever you want to do to crazy Kingpin. But tragically for Gallo, for Commissioner Gallo, his plan doesn't come to fruition because his ride home is interrupted or perhaps killed. His chauffeur is killed, I should say killed or badly beat up, and then a new member of Kingpin's task force basically takes Gallo's chauffeur spot, and then tragically for again Gallo, he's driven to the new headquarters outside headquarters of Fisk Task Force. And this is where it gets creepy and disgusting. And a little bit of ECW. And a little bit of ECW type of extreme. But to a new level of extreme. And this is it. Gallo sees a circle of his former clean-cut police force working, all of them working have been corrupted by Fisk's message, and they're surrounding him in a circle as Fisk is telling Gallo, nice to see you, Gallo, and I hear that you're leaving, and of course Gallo's like, no, I'm not. Then we see Kingpin hit Gallo above the shoulders, back of the shoulders, and we see Gallo fall to his knees, on his hands and knees. Then we see, then Fisk starts to squeeze very tight, the skull, yes, the skull of Gallo, until the squeezing becomes too much that he breaks Gallo's head open. and you know, Gallo juice comes out, pouring out of Gallow's body, headless body, and I know that's graphic. So before I continue, I just want you to know, guys, if you have young viewers that watch my videos or my videos of this series regarding this episode or this finale, to your own discretion and to your own viewer discretion is advised. So after popping Gallo off like a Coke bottle, like a Coke bottle, Maddie and Paige are hiding out, and they're very like 3 feet away, from Fisk's task force new outside headquarters, and obviously Daredevil wants to go in there and have a fight and have a fist party with Kingpin. But Paige is like, Maddie, no, Maddie, no, you're insane. You're going to get killed. You're going to get killed. You're wounded. You're still not. You're not yourself. Meaning, you're not recovered from being shot. So we have to do this smart. We have to take Kingpin down smartly. Then Maddie says, "Okay." Eventually, after vocally being like, "No, I want to go. I want to go in there and beat the holy heck out of Kingpin myself." But eventually, Daredevil runs to his friend Paige, Paige's request, and says, "Fine, okay. If we're gonna do this right, we're going to do this right. First, we need to build an army. Yes, we have to be an army to take down Fisk, to take his nice mayor mask off of his baldy, off of his face and off of his baldy head." So then we see Maddie and Paige at the same bar where they used to hang out with Foggy, and actually the same bar where outside of the bar that Foggy was tragically assassinated. But in the back of the bar, in the backstage room of the bar, Maddie and Paige are talking, and Maddie's like, Paige, after losing Foggy, I lost my way. I wanted blood. I wanted to taste blood for myself. And maybe tasting blood could, or would have, maybe tasting blood would have made me happy and stop my pain of losing my best friend. And Paige was like, No, Matt. Foggy knew you. Foggy knew you. I know you. Foggy knew you. You are not the type of person that is looking for revenge or for blood. That's why you put on the mask. That's why you put on the mask as Daredevil. To mask your pain and to kick and to eradicate the evils that are haunting New York. Not for blood, but for justice. Then after this beautiful and just beautiful, awesome chat between Paige and Maddie. Maddie puts on the mask, turns into Daredevil again, puts on the mask as the Daredevil and comes out of the back room, comes out of the break room of the bar. And we can hear Maddie's voice. He's basically doing a voiceover and says, We New Yorkers, we are the city that doesn't fear, that has no fear. We need to rise up. We need to rise up against corruption, greed. Defend the weak. Protect the people that cannot defend themselves. And as he's speaking, as Maddie's speaking, as Maddie is speaking, we see the people in New York. Angela, sanitation workers, regular New Yorkers, regular New Yorkers, faces and showing a sign of determination, of we're not going to let Kingpin run our city. Then, before this wonderful voice over by Maddie, we see Heather joining Kingpin's cabin, like accepting Kingpin's cabin position as therapist, as cabinet therapist, and therapist for my new division of why to vigilantism. And to top it all off, Kingpin gives a press conference in his Oval Office of Mayor and says in this press conference, video press conference, recorded press conference, that from this day forward, there will be a curfew. A night curfew that will start at 8 p.m. and all vigilantism, or all masks and vigilantes as a whole, overall is banned. If a vigilante wants to, to show it, wants to be out there, there will be consequences. And that's how this wonderful season 1 finale of Daredevil Born Again ends. So with that being said, guys, let me know in the comments, what did you think about the season finale as a whole, and what do you think Heather's therapist role or advisor to Kingpin's no vigilanteism movement will be, or program will be. What do you think her role will be? And who do you think Daredevil Paige will recruit to be in will be who do you think will be in Daredevil's army to stop Kingpin from injecting his poison in the city of New York? So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like. Remember to leave a like, and until we dare again, bye.